You know the deal by now. Episode 3 of the FTMO challenge, where I try and turn 40k into 44k in 1 month. Let's go. Hi guys, it's Any, aka the NocTrader, your friendly neighborhood swing trader, back again with another video. Remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that alert button to get alerts on all my latest videos. Alright guys, no filler, let's get straight into this. FTMO challenge, where am I at now? I'm at 37k 926 euros. Probably know by now by looking at the thumbnail. So I'm down about 5%. So what does the chart look like? Well, here's the parameters I have to meet. I have to make £4,000 profit. Still about 2k down, so that means I need to make about 6k. Max loss, I was shaving, cutting it real close the other day. I was about 800 quid away from hitting my max loss, and I was about 130 quid away from hitting my max daily loss. So this is not great. Minimum number of trading days 10. I've had 7 trading days so far. So as you can see on the chart here, my lowest point was minus 3184. Clawed it back over the last day or so with a couple of trades, and as you guys were saying, less is more. Trading less is more. In a space of 207 to 210, in a space of 3 trades, I clawed back nearly £1,000.
Oh my god! Wow!
And I'm gonna explain to you the trades that I took, and these are some really good trades. As you said, A1 setups, less is more. That's what I need to be doing. I've written it down, and I'm actually starting to enact it now, so my account is up as a byproduct of that. So some of the stats: lost 700 quid yesterday, 33 trades, didn't learn my lesson, carried on doing the same thing today. Made 13 trades. In reality, it wasn't really 13 trades, there was about 3 or 4 trades, and then I did a couple of scalps that I think I lost about 40-50 quid in, so that's not really an issue. But I made most of my money on about 3 or 4 trades that I'm going to show you what happened. Right now my equity is at £37,000 926 pence. Win ratio is 34%. Average profit is 89 euros. Average loss is 59 euros. Average risk to return ratio 1.47. Expectancy, I don't know, that is. Profit factor 0.76. Now if you want to look into the stats, a lot of trades here. It's not what we want to look at. The most important stuff we want to look at is so these are some of the trades we want to look at. So I took 2 trades in New Zealand dollar and US dollar, and I made about £600 there. And then I took a trade in Dow Jones, and I made about £600 there. And then I took another trade that I want to show you about in a second. So the 3 main trades that I made money on were GB pound, Japanese yen, New Zealand dollar, US dollar, and Dow Jones. So let's get into the charts. So let's start with Great Britain pound and Japanese yen. If you follow me on Twitter, you would have known that I called this trade out. As you can see here, my pick of the week was GB pound Japanese yen on Twitter, and I saw that there was a bull flag. The reason why I took this long was that on the 4-hour chart and the daily chart, it looked like a converging wedge, so it looked like it was going to go up. On the 4-hour chart, what else made me think that it was going to go up was that there was a bull flag being created. Price had gone up, hit this resistance line here, which had hit before, and then started selling off, but it wasn't selling off in any normal fashion. It was making a descending channel pattern. So I saw that that was the time to potentially take a long and then ride it all the way at least up to this resistance line, and that's what I did. I took a long. I actually closed my position shy of this green box, but it broke straight through it, and I believe price is going to make its way all the way up to this resistance line again. So the way I did was that I drilled down into maybe the 1-hour chart it was, and then I saw that, okay, now this line is being formed here. It's not even making it down to the support line no more, so I can see that this was the time for it to break out. So I took a long and I just rode it up. Now what scared me a little bit was that I saw that this here could be a potential resistance, so I actually took some profits here instead of just letting it break through and riding all the way up to the green zone. But I believe, as I said before, I think it's going to still make a move up all the way to the resistance line, so I'm waiting out for that. If you go back down to the 4-hour chart, there's also there was a bullish divergence going on here, so it looked like it was breaking up as well. The only reason why I said to exit here was just to be a bit conservative, because as you can see, the RSI is overbought, so it might make a pullback before climbing up. So if it makes a pullback, I'd probably re-enter for a long. So I'm waiting for something like this to happen. I don't expect it to pull back all the way up to this line, but I wouldn't be surprised if it does, because obviously old resistances become new supports. So I'd expect maybe some sort of pullback, maybe not all the way to this line, but it could potentially either pull back to this pivot line here or this pivot line here. So I've got 2 scenarios I'm mapping out, either pull back to here or pull back to here. So these are two possible scenarios. I think it's one of the two pivot levels in which it'll pull back to, and then I can see it climbing. The 180-day simple moving average is curving up, so it still looks bullish. So I'm just waiting for the optimal price sell-off so that I can enter the long at a better position. So another one I called out on Twitter, follow me on Twitter at the NocTrader on all social media platforms, was New Zealand dollar, US dollar. And I actually mapped it out. From the July 20th, I called it out as a breakout to the converging wedge. And that's exactly what it did. And then it hit my take profit. I actually set 2 buys on this trade. And it completely broke through my area, actually. It could have gone further. I could have made even more out of this, to be honest. So this is what I saw. I saw a converging wedge. And on a bigger time frame, I just saw a bullish move. So price, everything looked bullish. The 180-day simple moving average was curving up. There was a support and resistance line here that dated back to about beginning of this year. And I saw it hit this support line twice. And it looked like it was about to break out of here. So the minute it broke out, I took a long. Now, what happened here was that, let me go on the 2-hour chart. As expected, when the long was taken, it retraced back down, broke the resistance line of the wedge, and then soared up again. And at that point, I'd already taken my long, but I was so confident in my trade that I made sure that I set my stop loss below the pivot line, because as some of the discussions I've been having in the Discord forum has actually really been opening my eyes to some things that I already knew already, but I never actually implemented in my trade. And that's the whole thing of institutional traders stop loss chasing. So they try and bring downward pressure on a stock to break a support line or resistance line where most people would set their stop losses at, so that retail traders can get their position, their stop losses filled by institutional traders buys, and then the market will rally up again. So if I was to be conservative and set my stop loss just underneath this line, which would make sense, but then I would have got my stop loss hit, and then it would have climbed up again. And that's happened to me a lot, actually. So armed with this information, I made sure that my stop loss was well below this obvious resistance line, so that the institutional traders that were putting downward pressure on this pair wouldn't hit my stop loss. So I was lucky enough that my stop loss was about 655, something like that. So it didn't hit it, climbed up, and then entered my profit zone. And I had 2 trades in. I had one that exited here and one exited in the green zone, and I made about what did I make? Made about £600. Now in hindsight, I should have maybe set my stop loss at this area here, because as you can see here, this is a previous support line. Let me go out. This is a previous resistance that's been hit twice. Yeah, so it's been hit twice. Once, twice, and now this will be the 3rd time. So given this information now, it looks to me like there's a chance for maybe even another play on this. Now, while I didn't capitalize on this move to the full of its extent, because I didn't set my stop loss at this resistance line, which I should have, I think there's a play now to potentially take a long again once it breaks out of this this resistance line here. And the MACD and RSI are both supporting my theory, so I believe that if it hits this line, there should be a push up to break out of it, and that could even bring even more profit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set an alert on this line and then wait for it to break out. But delete this line here. So the next step now will be for it to break out this line here. And finally, the Dow Jones. Now, even from this daily chart, it looked like it was moving upwards, and all of the indices have been rallying upwards recently. So I was pretty confident in this long. But what I saw here was what made me really confident. There's been a consistent pattern recently of a diagonal line creating like a resistance, and then when it gets broken out, it's retested, then makes a little climb. This happened once, twice, and thrice. Obviously this was a descending wedge, but either way, it broken out of this resistance line after hitting it a couple of times, retraced back down, kissed it, then climbed. It had a resistance line, broke out, didn't really kiss it this time, but it climbed again. So once I saw that this was happening again, I took a long position quite early on, because I really wanted to capitalize, and I took a long position around here. And once I took and the reason why I took it around there was because I was quite confident in the fact that I was going to break out, and by taking my long quite early, I was able to set a stop loss that was pretty tight. My stop loss was around this area, so I took a long and I capitalized on all of that all the way up here to make about 600 quid. I had 2 points per pip on the Dow Jones, and that was a good trade. Now I've exited here, but I still believe the move has way more to go. I've even put a take profit here at this green area. So why do you think I exited here? I exited here because I believe that it's due a retracement. History might repeat itself. Like if it climbs, it will retrace a bit, and I didn't want to get caught on the retracement, so I had to hold for a long time. So I exited here, and I feel that a retracement is due, and I'm not surprised because look at this. Here it retraced, here it retraced, here it retraced, and now it's in the RSI overbought territory. So I wouldn't be surprised if a retracement was due. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if it just climbed all the way up to here. But either way, there's going to be a correction. But I do believe it's going to make its way all the way up to the 27600 level. The reason why I believe that is because if you go on the daily chart, the whole momentum looks just like it's going up. Go on the 4-hour chart, yeah, it just looks like, I don't know how to describe it. It just looks like momentum just seems to be going in the same direction. Everything looks like it's going up. So I do believe that it would actually at least minimum retest this old resistance at 2760, if not push past it. But I don't want to get ahead of myself and try and push for a bigger jump than it's going to do. So I believe that this is even conservative to say that it's going to come to 2760, but I do think it's going to go there. But I'm waiting for a favorable retracement so I can enter again another long to capitalize on the move to 2760 level. So those are 3 trades that I took, and I'm slowly clawing it back. I'm in a better position than I was before. Also, it's time to take a look at the tracker. 2 green days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red days. I had to edit this track a little bit because I didn't include Sundays, and apparently Sundays are added to the number of days to trade, obviously because you can trade Sunday nights. I've added Sundays in, so that means now I'm at 28 days that I can trade rather than 24 that I previously written. And so that means that I still got 20 days to make my profit. So I need 360 in a day to hit my target. And today I finally had another green day. The charts are looking good. Take less trades, as I said. Take less trades. I got £6,017 to make to hit my target. And I'm narrowing the gap between where I'm at and where I should be each day if I want to hit target. So I just need a couple more days like these, and we're back to good money again. So just need to be, just need to have a couple more good days. Maybe 1,000 here, couple more like that, and I should be fine. But as I said, I'm taking less trades. And I'm being more precise with I'm going back to my swing trades rather than all these different little scalps and day trades that I was trying to do. I'm not a day trader. I try to be. I'm all right at it, but I'm not great. Let me just stick to my bread and butter. My bread and butter is the swing trades, as you guys can see on my Twitter. The ones that I called out, most of them came good. If I only trade those, I probably would have been up by now on my account. So I need to stick to the ones that I've mapped out for the week and just take those trades and manage the risk. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I've done. I've got one good day to show for it, so things are going well, and I'm just going to stick to that now. Try and find good swing trades that have small risk and a big upside for me to capitalize on. So yeah, it's looking good. I'm happy with that. Getting there slowly. Yeah, I'm happy. Actually, before I go, people have been asking me if they want a copy of this. This ain't even like that great. I've seen some other people make some great Excels and stuff, but if you want a copy, I'm gonna make it downloadable. So I'll put a link in the description section below if you want to download a copy of this. I'm gonna delete all the data because you don't need my data, but I'll leave the formulas in so that you can use them. Guys, it's Any, aka the NocTrader, signing out.